Hey everyone, welcome to a 2016 Audi Allroad Premium Plus. If you are new to the channel, welcome for the first time. If you are a returning viewer, thank you and welcome back. I appreciate all my viewers, new and returning, so thanks guys. This is a car brought to me by First International Auto Group here in Merrimack, New Hampshire. And so this Audi is basically like an A4 wagon, so I'm kind of excited to show you guys this example. The car we are in today has 111,000 miles on it, so we can kind of see how it's held up over time. And so before we get started on the drive, let's take a little walk around. So this Allroad is like a gray with a black interior. Obviously you can see here we have the plastic cladding. Literally just kind of looks like an A4 but with like a wagon end to it. 5-spoke wheels, pretty large brake rotors and calipers in the front and rear, so you get plenty of braking power. Let's check out these rear seats. So as you can see here, we have an adequate amount of room sitting behind myself at about 5'9". We have this gorgeous sunroof and moonroof that opens here. And overall, this interior is a pretty nice place to be. It's not as gorgeous as that A6 we reviewed, as we kind of have some, you know, plastic, hard plastic in the front, especially over the dashboard and a little bit even on the wheel. But overall, these back seats, they have cargo nets, they have venting, they got, you know, stereo system back here as well. So, and we can seat 5 decently comfortably while also storing luggage. So as you can see here, we have plenty of room for luggage, as said before, or anything you kind of have to move. You can fold down these rear seats here and get plenty of flat open space. And under here is also a spare tire, just in case you wanted to know. So this Audi Allroad has a inline 4-cylinder with a turbo, makes 220 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque, plenty of low-end passing power, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. This automatic transmission is also quite good. It's not a dual clutch, but it works through the gears pretty well. So talking about interior space, we have lots in this front seat. I have plenty of room for my legs for long road trips. You can kind of really find a comfortable spot in these leather seats. My front passenger also has plenty of room, and you can fit a total of 5 people in this car with the rear seats in the middle as well. So people tend to prefer SUVs and crossovers over your traditional wagon, just because they're higher up or have more ground clearance, or just a little more room in the interior, especially as far as headspace in the back seats. However, I think the wagon is the way to go. You still get tons of, you know, almost like sedan-like performance while also having the practicality with the hatchback and the fold-down seats in the back. So the steering is pretty nice in this Audi Allroad. I would say it's direct and actually kind of on the heavier side as far as steering. But this 3-spoke steering wheel, I wouldn't say is the best looking. I love the Audi D-shaped steering wheels, and this doesn't have that as just a traditional round steering wheel, but you can't knock it. It's got all the buttons you would need on here, including, you know, your stereo, you know, your audio system, your navigation. You can talk to your car with this little button here. It prompts that.
Fast route.
So on the steering wheel, you can get to your audio presets, including, you know, FM and AM radio, your satellite radio, and your Bluetooth connection. With the right hand side, you can talk to your navigation system, tell it where you want to go, which is kind of cool. Although these navigation systems kind of get outdated. Some manufacturers, I'm not actually sure on Audi, but sometimes they provide update to a certain year. But I think that's why a lot of manufacturers are switching to just having CarPlay as standard in their cars, because those systems get updated all the time, especially Waze, Apple Maps, Google Maps. And so having that integration with your iPhone or whatever smartphone you have is actually a lot easier for everyone. As far as visibility, we have plenty in this car. Even out our rear, we have this giant window that covers our hatch, which is great. And these side windows are quite large too. So most of the interior touch points are quite nice. The buttons and the shift knob feel of high quality. I would say the steering wheel, not so much. It's got that same like plasticky, rubbery wrapping to it that I don't like, but a lot of cars of this era have, so kind of have to just deal with it or replace the steering wheel. You can also find aftermarket wrappings if it bothers you too. So this Audi Allroad is equipped with keyless entry, remote start for all your convenient entry and exits of your car. We have heated seats here for me and my front passenger. We have this gorgeous sunroof. I think they call it a moonroof, even though it opens. I just call them sunroofs if it opens. It's got a nice big shade to it that pulls back, and then a separate button to open up the sunroof. And it also has a nice windscreen on top too, so you don't get wind buffeting. So we have dual climate control here in the front. The back vents just pump out what we have going on up here, so it's not like they have their own climate zone, but they'll get plenty of cooling with those middle vents. So how the dual climate control works up here is you have these knobs for both of your front passengers, well, your driver and your passenger, that control their temperature. And if you want to adjust the fans, you actually have to click the fan button and then turn it up and down. You can't just automatically turn your fan up and down with one smooth motion. You have to click the fan button and then twist the same knob you use for the temperature, which is kind of interesting. It's not an entirely big deal, but it's weird having that extra step. But I guess it's better than having that hidden in some infotainment screen. So the audio system in this car works great. I've actually never had a complaint with any sort of audio, some audio system, some Audi audio system. I feel like they always put good speakers in their cars, so no complaints there. As far as the gauge cluster goes, we have analog, tachometer, and speedometer, along with a digital speedometer in the middle. I tend to hide the digital one. I just kind of like looking at my analog gauges, but everyone has their own personal preference. So the driver of this vehicle has memory seats. You have 1 and 2 settings, so you can have 2 people drive this car and have completely different seating adjustments and just have them changed at the touch of a button, which is awesome. So with the market desiring more SUVs, especially 3-row SUVs, you kind of see Allroads and other wagons being phased out of the market. Sedans have kind of been experiencing this too, but I think wagons are going to be the first to go, unfortunately. It's sad because I think that they really do have added practicality that some people want, but there's just not enough desire in the market. This Audi Allroad rides really nice. It absorbs most bumps pretty well. I would say where it faults as far as suspension goes is the larger bumps. I was actually expecting this to absorb those very well, but unfortunately I think this just doesn't have enough play in the suspension. Maybe if you raise it like 2 inches, give it some beefier tires, you'll basically glide over everything on the road. But overall, I think these Audi Allroads just breathe New England. Like, they're a very New England type vehicle, maybe even Canadian, really wherever you get a lot of snow. These with the Quattro all-wheel drive system and even paired with some snow tires, you're gonna be able to get through basically any storm. So with 111,000 miles on this specific example, I will say that the car rides really nice. The engine is stout. I've had no problems with this vehicle at all while having it. And overall, I think it rides really nice for a car of that age and mileage. No creaks, no rattles, no strange noises. overall, I think this thing is built really well. The interior of this Audi Allroad is very simplistically designed. Everything you need is right in this center stack. You can find basically anything you need in the car. There's no really hidden settings. As we move towards a more digital side of cars, where we have these giant infotainment screens stuck with tons and tons of settings and less buttons in the car, you will actually start to appreciate cars like this, where you have most things being analog switches, analog gauge cluster, and I think that it really holds true that these Audis, especially this Allroad, is very timeless as far as the exterior and interior design. So the leather seats in this car are quite comfortable. Obviously, I haven't driven it for multiple hours, but I found a very comfortable position for me specifically. Great driving position, comfortable, enough room for my legs, no complaints there. These seats don't really grip you tight, they kind of just hold you in place, but obviously we're not going to be tracking this Audi Allroad. If anything, you're going to put some big snow tires, a lift, and have some fun in the snow. So we do have blind spot monitoring, no lane keep assist, no lane follow assist, or any of those fancy oh my gosh. None of those safety features. Oh my gosh. No. Did we not just see this car almost go off the road after pulling out in front of me? Kind of crazy. Yeah, so speaking of safety features, we don't have things like that in this car. But yeah, I mean, honestly, all I think you need is a good backup camera, which we have, and good blind spot monitoring, and that's going to get you most of the way there. The fuel economy isn't great in these Audi Allroads, but I think a lot of that is attributed to the all-wheel drive system. All-wheel drive cars just basically get worse gas mileage inherently, and there's not much you can do about that, but better be safe than sorry in the winter months. With that being said, thank you for watching another video, another car brought to you by First International Auto Group here in Merrimack, New Hampshire. Definitely check them out. They have tons and tons of inventory, especially if you're looking for Audis, BMWs, Mercedes. They have plenty of those. Thanks for watching. Please like, please subscribe, and leave your comments below. Bye.